grandfather was a pioneer in many ways. He had in his mind a delicate and complex Montepulciano, and the only way he could achieve so was to do a very delicate extraction. He understood that he could create this matter, this texture that he calls the velluto of the Montepulciano. So this velvety sensation that you can actually touch by touching the berries that are getting ripe underneath the pergola. Pergola is an ancient training system in Abruzzo that let the plant go up to 2 meters and then develop in 4 different directions. So you end up having a carpet of leaves and all the grapes getting ripe in the shade. This means that you have a lot of leaves exposed to the sun and doing a lot of photosynthesis, so capturing light, and then that will be transferred to the grapes by the sap. So it's a phenolic ripening that always happens from the inside and never by contact with the sun and the skin. So this let us have a quality of skin that is much thinner and tannins are much more refined and elegant. Because grandfather was very ambitious and very demanding of his own work and from his own wines. In his mind, he wanted his wine to compete with the world's greatest wines. And the only way he thought he could do this was by letting the Montepulciano age. Montepulciano sometimes can reveal itself very powerful in its youth, because it has a lot of matter, a lot of strength, a lot of energy. The wine has a much better definition after some aging. It becomes much more ethereal, much more perfumed. There's no machine being used at Pepe since the very first beginning. All the white grapes are picked by hand and crushed by feet for the entire production. This allows a constant stimulation of skin with the juice. The idea is to have all the aromatics and the phenolics that are easily extractable from the very first beginning, and then let the mash go to ferment without any skin. For the reds, we hand destem the whole production of Montepulciano. The reason why we end the stem is because we don't want to break the stem and we want to keep the berries intact as much as we can. Our wines have always been spontaneously fermented, so we have never used any selected yeast, so we only ferment with indigenous yeast. We never filter. The wine spends 2 years in concrete. Concrete is completely neutral, so it doesn't give anything to the wine, it doesn't take anything from the wine. So it preserves the personality and the characteristic of the wine the way that the nature gave it to us. In the same way, that helps us to preserve the personality of the season is grown into. So after 10, 20, 30 years, you open that bottle and you'll taste the characteristic of that season. It becomes like tasting history.